Hello and welcome to Mother's Tarot. This is Loretta. I hope everyone's doing a great day. This is video 19 of What Star Are We From and the Star Lineage. You can find all the videos for the Star Lineage in, the community page. On my community page under playlists. There's a tab there for Star Lineage. That's where you can find all of these. Okay. So, and it's also on podcast. There you go. And today we've got 3 new messages coming through the cards. So that's exciting. All right. Now I'm going to read the narrative so we can get started here. And thank you for being here. Thank you. Okay. What star are we from? A message from above. Galactic Heritage Cards are used to help us tap into our star lineage and karmic patterns, and also reveal lessons brought to Earth from the stars, and how these lessons can be used in our life on Earth now. A star lineage spread more accurately reflects what stellar influences are working with you now, in the moment you choose the cards. If you do readings often, the cards may change, but over time you will notice a pattern that keeps emerging if you are working with the cards in a sincere way. This is a fluid system without fixed positional meanings because it represents the multidimensional and holographic nature of consciousness. Each card has a number, a civilization, a theme, and text that goes with it. The numbering order is based on the journey from unity to polarity through integration and back to unity. We have 21 different species and 108 cards in this deck. 4 timeline suits, past, present, future, and parallel. The cards are numbered based on the journey from unity to polarity and back to unity, reflecting a universal theme that of a state of oneness, a fragmentation into individuality, and the process of integration back to a state of oneness. Thus, the cards in the lower numbers represent the earliest process of unity, fragmenting into individuality, and the star consciousness who guides us. Early to mid-range numbers represent the physical civilizations. The higher numbered cards are the reintegration cards, representing a movement of the energy from unity to polarity and then to reintegration, representing a movement from energy from unity to polarity and then to reintegration. Card numbers later in the deck represent the integrated processes of our star family as it moved toward unity. Parallel cards refer to a certain era of that civilization on the card. Future cards are an era of mature civilizations where our extraterrestrial guidance mostly comes. These cards work with your intuition. Okay. And then we also have one card that has come up for the 6th time. The message is coming through for the 6th time. And that's our good intentions one up here. So we've got new paradigm, number 6, number 8, and 6. This is the 4th time this message is coming through. I'll let you know about it as we go along. That'll just be more efficient there. So I'm going to pick this up and show you. I'm working on my lighting. I'm sorry. New paradigm, Andromeda, parallel timeline. There we go, right there. Okay. Card number 6. And the paradigm card, the message that we're receiving, this is the 4th time that in Well, this is number 19. So in all the times we've been reading, this is the fourth time this one's come up. Every culture adheres to a specific paradigm of reality. Earth's paradigm has to do with polarity. The Andromeda paradigm is about experiencing the unexpected and being in a constant state of change. When we are in foreign terrain where we don't know the rules, we have to use our inner compass to navigate. We all have one, but few know how to use it. This card tells you that change is coming, both to your planet and to your individual life. Learn now how to operate in a foreign paradigm by accessing that inner compass. Your evolution your evolution can be not only painless, but joyful. Once we have made progress in acknowledging and living as our true nature, a fluid state of integration and constant change and evolution, the natural result is the creation of a new paradigm. This is one of the reasons for turmoil on Earth now. The evolutionary directive for growth is conflicting with the habitual fears of change. That kind of conflict creates a circumstance in which it seems that nothing on a societal or planetary level can move forward. Progress becomes stuck. While this may be happening on Earth now, it may also be happening within you. When you stop resisting change and always seeking safety, you create a new, empowered paradigm through which you can live your life. This personal paradigm shift greatly affects the mass consciousness field of Earth and fosters a planetary paradigm shift as well. But first, you have to walk into the unknown with the only map that matters, the one that comes from within you. The Andromedan consciousness is always supporting you. Their energy gently guides and encourages a profound personal and planetary shift in conscious space and on the pure, fluid nature of consciousness itself. Okay, I'm going to read that again. Their energy gently guides and encourages a profound, personal, and planetary shift in consciousness based on the pure, fluid nature of consciousness itself. Powerful message. Powerful message. Okay, and then we're going to card number 8 with the message about cosmic midwifery. This is an Arcturus energy, parallel timeline. I hope you can see that. The art in here is just really neat. And this card here for cosmic midwifery, this is the first time this message is coming through. Here we go. All civilizations need guides, seen and unseen, that help them grow. The Arcturus energy has guided humanity from a place of compassion and unconditional love since its inception. It plays the role of a cosmic midwife, assisting us through birth and death in the physical reality. This energy also helps us through major life transitions. You pulled this card because you have a connection to the Arcturus energy. In this life or another, that energy is working with you again. To reconnect, visualize a bright orange star and breathe in its energy directly to your heart. You know, I believe that I had that question not too long ago. Someone asked me if I had ever seen an orange orb, and I had not. But right here, we are being told But the orange orbs, that's Arcturus energy. Oh, that's sweet. Okay, here we go. Continuing on. As stated above, the Arcturus energy has a profound and all-pervasive relationship with human reality. One of the services it provides has to do with the two most sacred life transitions, birth and death. The Arcturus energy, which energetically resonates as the energy of our higher selves or our integrated essence, serves as a midwife for us when we are born and when we pass from the physical world. You could say that the white light seen in near-death experiences and during birth, if we could remember, is the energy of Arcturus or our pure essence. This doesn't mean the star Arcturus or something to do with extraterrestrials. This is a pure archetypal resonance that is equated with the star Arcturus in the cosmology given by Germain. This energy can be felt by focusing on the star Arcturus in meditation, but the consciousness is so much more expansive than simply a star. If this card comes up in your reading, it could point to many things, depending on your unique qualities and life lessons. It may mean that you have a gift to usher others through the birth or death experience. It could also mean that you are going through a It could also mean that you're going through a metaphorical birth or death experience and could benefit by invoking Arcturus consciousness to assist you. I've actually been doing that recently. Okay, next message through card number 19, Feminine Principle, Vega Past. Page 19. Here we go. The ancient pagan civilization. Oh, I'm sorry, I should have. On 19. Oh, this is the first time we're hearing this message too. I don't get too far ahead of myself. All right, feminine principle. The ancient pagan civilization, breaking away from the Lyrans, manifested the feminine principle by their intense devotion to spiritual expression. They were the earliest priests and priestesses. They were the first to develop spiritual methods. They had no interest in moving out into the galaxy to develop planets like the Lyrans. All they needed was within. This card reminds you of the same truth. All you need is within you. Stop looking outside of yourself for fulfillment. Instead, rely on your own light and inner awareness. The deeper you go within, the vaster the universe becomes. This is the first Vega card in the deck. The Vegan civilization was an offshoot of the Lyran civilization. They formed their own civilizations because they had a different belief system about how to interact with reality. Instead of the pioneering spirit of the Lyrans, who boldly explored and conquered the physical reality around them, the Vegans took a more feminine, spiritual approach to living in the physical world. They were very inwardly focused and preferred spiritual pursuits. At first, this left them vulnerable and weak in the eyes of the Lyrans, and it caused a lot of war between the two civilizations. But it was the Vegans who eventually mastered the spiritual arts. If this card comes up in your reading, it could have many meanings depending on the other cards in the spread and what you know about your own past connection to the Vegan civilizations. This card could be imploring you to reconnect with your inner feminine energy or to focus more on your spiritual development. Conversely, it could be pointing out that you focus too much on the feminine energy and it needs to be balanced in your life. Look honestly at the spread and your inner self and be open to receiving this card's message from your higher self. Yeah. Being in balance is the utmost importance because the polarity we deal with. Okay, number 46. Oh, this is interesting. This message in card 46, good intentions, serious past, 6. This is the 6th time this one's coming through. This is out front of all the rest of the cards that, or all the rest of the messages that have been pulled. So I thought that was very interesting. Okay. So I have to look. So I'll be listening even closer now, because it's repeating a lot. All right, here we go. The ancient Syrians had very good intentions when they worked on Earth during the genetic projects. But sometimes good intentions are not enough. Mistakes are made and lessons are learned. Good intentions must be combined with foresight, integrity, and humility. This card asks you to look at the good intentions in your heart about an action you are making and find out how they can be strengthened through honest self-observation, realistic evaluation, and long-term vision. And most importantly, should mistakes be made, remember to forgive yourself. This is another card that reflects the challenges that the new species have as they begin to mature. Just like the Palladians and Syrians, enthusiasm, desire for service, and good intentions are not enough to ensure evolution. They must be tempered with long-range vision, patience, wisdom, and other traits. This card refers to the good intentions of the Syrians and other species like Palladians during the ancient time on Earth, when they were interacting with new humans. These good intentions were admirable, but were often not enough to stop short-sighted mistakes and quick actions that could have been avoided with a little bit of wisdom and patience. Every newly mature species passes through this test, and the Syrians were no different. If you have this card in your spread, it can have several meanings. It could refer to the past lives of yours in which you were either a Syrian interacting with Earth or a human who benefited or suffered because of the actions of these young Syrians. Applying it to life now, it could also be giving you advice to look more deeply into your good intentions for actions in life to see if there is a hidden reason for the action that may be more self-serving. It is also challenging you to look at these good intentions and see if, down the road, those good intentions might actually inadvertently hurt someone else. Part of becoming a self-responsible species is being able to be honest about our intentions and be hesitant to act without full awareness that the action is supported by the universe. Yeah. We did need to hear that over and over again. We will hear it again, I'm sure. Okay. Now the next card, the next message is coming through card number 69. Natural humility. Lyra Future. And do you notice it's got a skirt on? So I'm picking up femininity on this one. Natural humility. So, And this is card 69. Let's hear the message. The ancient Lyran trait of arrogance eventually transformed into a beautiful trait of natural humility. And I think I forgot to tell you, this is the second time we are receiving this message. This humility is not one of low self-worth, but instead it acknowledges that all beings, including the self, are equal in the eyes of the universe, and no one is more special than another. This natural humility represents a balanced ego and is essential for the transformation of the species. Look within. Begin the process of knowing that all beings in the universe are equal to you, even the Buddha. Watch how this thought can be one of the arrogance or profound. Watch how this thought can be one of arrogance or profound humility. Therein lies the lesson. This Lyran time stream represents the Lyran culture after they healed their karma and the challenges of the past when they were a young species. One of the most profound challenges of the immature Lyran species in the past was arrogance. After much self-observance and practices of generosity, they transformed their species to one that embodied a powerful humility that was natural and authentic. Most planetary species have to make this transition in order to enter the galactic community. Humans on Earth, as a species, not as individuals, have not yet begun this process with full commitment. The development of this trait comes from viewing reality as a holistic unit rather than us and them. If this card came up in your reading, it could mean many things depending on the surrounding cards and your life situation. It could mean that you are already expressing this trait. It may mean that you need to look at the world in a more holistic way, embrace the connectedness of all beings, and surrender the view of separation in order to develop your natural humility more completely. Be honest in your self-observation and open to the messages from your higher self about what this card really means to you. What it means is I'm working on it. I've been working on it, you know. My mother always told me, nobody's better than you, and you ain't no better than nobody else either. And it's absolutely true. You know, and but yeah, it's something that I have to keep in mind, you know, because we're human and we've been programmed in not such a good way. So I'm trying to reprogram myself. Okay, the next message is card number 70, Complete Surrender. Lyra Future. This is the first time we're receiving this message. There. Interesting looking card. It's a person. I don't know if, or yeah. You see the eyes, face, body. I like the art on these cards. Okay, here we go. For eons, the ancient Lyrans applied the masculine principle of pushing or forcing reality to conform to their desires. In order to transform, they eventually had to surrender, to let go of the need for control, and trust the universe to be as it needs to be in every moment. This was a hard lesson for the Lyrans, as it is for you. You, like most humans, have a karmic pattern of trying to control reality. It is time now to change that pattern. Practice trusting and surrendering to the universe on a daily basis, even with small things. As you do this, you will begin to heal this ancient karmic pattern. I know I'm working on this. I'm always working on this. In my older life, my older years here, you know, some of us are more thick-headed than others. Okay, I'm going to continue on this right now. This Lyran time stream represents the Lyran culture after they healed their karma and the challenges of the past when they were a young species. Specifically, this card represents the transformation of several negative traits of the ancient Lyran forefathers that kept them always trying to control reality. There is a higher plan, and in those early days of the Lyran civilization, they preferred to try to push and control events, even against the flow of the natural energy. This left them creating a lot of conflict and strife within their civilization. Eventually, as the species matured, they began to recognize that there is indeed a higher plan, and it is impossible to ever control events. They learned to let go and ride the wave of the universe and healed their obsessive need to control. This is an extremely important card for Earth at this time because most humans as individuals and the species as a whole are addicted to the need to control and don't realize that this only creates suffering. If this came up in your reading, the suggestion is to seriously take a look at your desire to control reality and begin to learn how to let go more. Learning to surrender is a challenging experience, but it is an essential aspect of personal and planetary evolution. I know that's one of the things I work on daily. Just friggin' surrendering to the universe. Yeah, that's a great message. Great message. Okay, our next message here is card 79. And this is the third time this message is coming through. Renewed hope. Zeta Reticuli. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. When a crisis passes and we are no longer deep in fear, there is a sense of relief. It feels like a new dawn has arrived, and the future is filled with hope. This is where the Zetas are emotionally in this era. Their species crisis has passed, and they are feeling a new dawn rising. The message for you is to see each moment as a chance for a new dawn. Nothing in the physical universe is constant except change. With each change comes the potential for beauty, joy, and growth. Don't let the moments of your life pass without noticing them as doorways to awakening. Begin now. This card refers to an era of Zeta civilization when their species crisis had passed and they were on the road to recovery. With the threat of their extinction over, they reconnected with their joy and began to feel hopeful about the future. They realized that they could not go back to the ways of their past and had to reshape their civilization and themselves. If you pulled this card, its meaning depends on the surrounding cards and your life circumstances. It could be that you have recently passed through a dark time in your life and you are feeling the new dawn. If so, it is important to learn the lessons from the past and not repeat them before you move into your new future. It might also mean that you haven't yet passed fully through a challenging time, but you can look ahead to when the dawn will come. For those of you who have strong Zeta connections, this card may also mean that you have a connection with this Zeta era. Perhaps you had a lifetime then, or you are in contact with a being from this era. In any case, let yourself feel the energy of a new dawn that is on the horizon. Always remember that personal work never finishes. The Zetas learned this too and continued their self-healing work on a personal and species level. This deep inner work led to their species awakening. This inner work can lead to your awakening as well. Yeah, it's a powerful message. Okay, and this, our last message here comes in card 94, mental transformation, serious future. And this one, the third time we're receiving this message. There we go. Beliefs, habits, and mental attachments cause most of the distress that we experience as humans. Sometimes we don't even realize we have them. Now that we are making a planetary transition, it requires us to let go of these obstacles to true awakening. Our future, serious friends who have released these obstacles can help us with this because they provide loving guidance to help us navigate this transition. This card asks you to be truthful about your limiting beliefs and habits, even the positive ones, and open yourself to a new and flexible ways of thought and being. This card accesses energy from the Syrian era after they became an awakened species and transcended to a non-physical fifth density state. The Syrians from this era are a great model for humans because when they were young, their species had many of the same challenges that plague humans now. One of these challenges is that humans are often their own worst enemies because of their destructive thought patterns that continually sabotage spiritual growth and the transformation of the planet. When the Syrians were able to transcend their destructive mental patterns, they were able to make their planetary transition with ease. If this card is in your spread, look at the other cards as well as your life circumstances for future clues. This meaning may have to do with a needed transformation that must take place in your thought and belief system in order for you to make a shift. Conversely, the card may be acknowledging that you have made this shift and are ready to move into a new level of growth. Self-honesty will be needed in order to know which of these options or another is accurate. It is quite possible that guides from the Sirius era are working with you in your growth. If you feel this is the case, open yourself even more to the wisdom they can share with you. Do not fear this change, for freedom always comes from this type of mental transformation. It's a great message. Mental freedom. It's a blessing. And we're headed there. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you found something beneficial in that. I do. Every time. And I hope you do too. You know, maybe you can share your thoughts with me in the comments section below. That would be beautiful. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know how you're doing. Hope everyone's doing great. You are all very beautiful, beautiful souls. And take real good care of yourselves. All right? I love you. And I will see you all in the next video. I hope. Thanks for being here. Bye.